Good morning, dear students. Today I will discuss about algebra of continuous functions. First of all, let me write one theorem. Let f and g be two real functions. Real function means real valued functions, continuous at x equal to a. Then number 1, f and g are two real functions continuous at x equal to a. Then f plus g, sum of the functions f plus g is continuous at x equal to a. F minus g is continuous at x equal to a. F into g is continuous at x equal to a. Number 4, alpha into f is continuous at x equal to a, where alpha is any real number. Number 5, f by g is continuous at x equal to a, provided g of x, g of e is not equal to 0. Okay, so if f and g are two continuous functions continuous at x equal to a, then sum, difference, product, constant into a function alpha f and quotient of the functions f and g all will be continuous at x equal to a. Now this can be extended. For here we have this theorem is for a particular point x equal to a. This can be extended for a set of points also. We can extend the theorem in this way. Let me write as a note. Let f comma g are continuous functions in a common domain D. F and g are two continuous functions in a common domain D. Then f plus g is continuous in D. F minus g is continuous in D. Number 3, f into g is continuous in D. And number 4, f by g is continuous in D, provided g of x is not equal to 0 at any point. That means if gx equal to 0 at some point, at that point the function will not be continuous. Okay, so this is actually extended form of this theorem. Here if f and g are continuous at a particular point, then f plus g is also continuous at that point. And here what I have written, if f and g are continuous in a domain D, in a set D, then f plus g also will be continuous for all points in that set in the domain D, etc., etc. Okay, let me write one more thing. If f composition G, comma G composition F exists in D, if F composition G and G composition F exists in D, then F composition G, G composition F will be continuous in D. So if F and G are continuous functions in a domain D, and if F composition G exists in D, then F composition G will be continuous at all points in D. Similarly, if G composition F exists, then G composition F also will be continuous at all points in the domain D. Here I have taken one simple question from NCERT book. The question is, discuss the continuity of the following functions: fx equal to sin x plus cos x, fx equal to sin x minus cos x, fx equal to sin x into cos x. I will do only one question, and similarly you do other two. Here number 1, you can see fx equal to sin x plus cos x. Let us consider, say, px equal to sin x and rx, and say qx equal to cos x. Okay, now sin x, we know sin function is everywhere continuous at all points of R. Sin x is continuous in R for all real numbers. Sin x is continuous. Similarly, cos x is also continuous, and sum of two continuous function is again a continuous function. We know if fx is continuous in a domain D, gx is continuous in a domain D, so fx plus gx also will be continuous in the domain D. So we will write in this way. Here px equal to sin x is continuous, sin x is continuous in R, means at all points in R, and qx equal to cos x is also continuous in R, and therefore px plus qx, sum of two continuous function, is continuous in R. Now you can see px plus qx is actually our fx. We will write implies fx is continuous in R. So ultimately what we have proved, sin x plus cos x is everywhere continuous, is continuous. Fx equal to sin x plus cos x is everywhere continuous. Okay, similarly try to solve these two questions. Sin x minus cos x, this function will be also everywhere continuous, and sin x into cos x will be continuous everywhere. Next, another simple question from NCERT book. Is the function defined by fx equal to x square minus sin x plus 5 continuous at x equal to pi? For that, to check, we will consider this as px. Let px equal to x square, let qx equal to sin x, let rx equal to 5. Now x square is a polynomial function, and we know a polynomial function is everywhere continuous. Sin x is sine function, and therefore everywhere continuous. 5 is a constant function, and therefore everywhere continuous. Polynomial function, sine function, constant function. Now sum and difference of continuous function is also a continuous function. Here you can mention here px being polynomial function, is continuous continuous everywhere, and therefore at x equal to pi, qx being sine function, qx being sine function is continuous at x equal to pi, rx equal to 5 being constant function is continuous at x equal to pi, as sum comma difference of continuous function is continuous function is also a continuous function, therefore px, you can see px, we have to prove x square minus sin x plus 5, that is px minus qx plus rx is also continuous, at x equal to pi, implies px minus rx plus qx is equal to, you can see px minus qx plus rx is equal to this x square minus sin x plus 5. So we'll write in this way, implies fx equal to x square minus sin x plus 5 is continuous at x equal to pi. Actually this way you have to explain the answer, but we can solve the problem in a single line. X square is a polynomial function, sin x is sine function, 5 is constant function, sum and difference of continuous function is also continuous function, and therefore fx is continuous. Okay. Next question is, show that the function defined by fx equal to cos x square is a continuous function. Now cos x square is combination of two functions. One is cosine function cos x, another is polynomial function x square. So let me write in this way, let px equal to cos x, qx equal to x square. Now p composition qx is equal to p of qx. P of qx is x square, you can write p of x square. P of x is cos of x, p of x square will be cos of x square. Okay, which is equal to our given function. Now px is cosine function, px being cosine function is everywhere continuous. Qx being polynomial function is everywhere continuous. And therefore px qx are everywhere continuous, their composition p composition qx is everywhere continuous, and p composition qx is equal to cos of x square, which is equal to our given function. So we'll write in this way, implies fx p of qx, p composition qx is fx, so fx equal to cos of x square is everywhere continuous, okay. So here what we have used, the composition of functions p and q. P is continuous everywhere, qx is continuous everywhere, their composition is also continuous. Our next question is, show that fx equal to modulus of cos x is continuous everywhere. Here also you can see modulus of cos x is combination of two functions. One is modulus function and one is cosine function. So we will write in this way, let px equal to modulus of x, qx equal to cos of x, p composition qx. Now p composition qx is equal to p of qx, p of cos of x, p of cos of x equal to p of x is modulus of x, p of cos x will be modulus of cos x. And after that, you have to write the conclusion. You will write in this way, here px equal to px being modulus function is everywhere continuous, qx being cosine function is everywhere continuous. So I am writing in short, px comma qx are continuous everywhere. You can mention px being modulus function, qx being cosine function are continuous everywhere, implies p composition qx is continuous everywhere, and p composition qx is modulus of cos x, and modulus of cos x is our fx. So we will write implies fx equal to modulus of cos x is continuous everywhere. Our next question is from NCERT book. Examine the continuity of f where f is defined by this. Now first of all, when x is not equal to 0, fx equal to sin x minus cos x. We know sin x is everywhere continuous, cos x is also everywhere continuous, and difference of two continuous function is also continuous, and therefore we will write in this way, sin x minus cos x, sin x minus cos x being difference of two continuous functions is continuous for x not equal to 0, because when x is not equal to 0, then fx equal to sin x minus cos x. Sin x minus cos x is continuous function, so we can conclude sin x minus cos x is continuous. This is continuous when x is not equal to 0. So fx is continuous when x is not equal to 0, but we have to check the continuity at the junction at x equal to 0. For that, you can see the form of the function is equal to not equal to. This is not in split form. So to test continuity at x equal to 0, we will find the limiting value. Now limit x tends to 0, fx is equal to limit x tends to 0. X tends to 0 means x is very near to 0, but x not equal to 0, and when x is not equal to 0, fx equal to sin x minus cos x. X tends to 0 means x not equal to 0. When x not equal to 0, fx is this. Put x equal to 0, its value will be minus of 1. And what is f of 0? You can see when x equal to 0, value of the function fx equal to minus 1. So f of 0 is equal to minus of 1. So what we can conclude? Limiting value, therefore limit x tends to 0, fx is equal to f of 0, implies fx is continuous at x equal to 0. Here what we have seen, sin x minus cos x, this function fx equal to sin x minus cos x is continuous everywhere for x not except at x equal to 0, for at all points other than 0. And here we have checked this is also continuous at x equal to 0. So our conclusion will be fx is everywhere continuous. Fx equal to sin x minus cos x, this function is continuous everywhere. So fx is continuous because when x not equal to 0, value of the function is this only, sin x minus cos x. So when x not equal to 0, fx is continuous, and when x equal to 0, fx is also continuous, therefore it is continuous everywhere. Our next question is, find all points of discontinuity of f where fx equal to sin x by x when x is less than 0 and x plus 1 when x more than 0. Now you can see sine function, sin x is everywhere continuous. I am writing here, sin x is everywhere continuous, sine function is everywhere continuous. X is polynomial function. You think in this way, px equal to sin x, qx equal to x, sine function, polynomial function, everywhere continuous, and therefore px by qx is also continuous everywhere. But you can see, given that x is less than 0 and x is not equal to 0, that means denominator cannot be 0, denominator equal to x, and here x is less than 0, x is not equal to 0. So px by qx is continuous for x less than 0. Sin x is continuous at all points being sine function for x less than 0. Qx equal to x is polynomial function and therefore continuous for at all points. Polynomial function is everywhere continuous. So continuous by continuous is continuous function. Here sin x by x is continuous for x less than 0. So actually our conclusion will be fx is continuous for x less than 0, and for x more than 0, fx equal to x plus 1 is a polynomial function. This is polynomial function. Sin x by x is continuous for less than 0, fx equal to x plus being polynomial function is continuous for x more than 0. So just let me write in this way. You just remember this. I have written this only to explain you. You write in this way. Here fx is continuous. Fx is continuous for x less than 0 and for x more than 0. Fx is continuous for x less than 0, comma x more than 0. Let us test the continuity at x equal to 0. Continuity at x equal to 0. You can see this function is given in split form. So first let me find left hand limit. A left hand limit at x equal to 0. Limit x tends to 0 minus fx. Limit x tends to 0 minus means x is less than 0. When x is less than 0, fx equal to sin x by x, and x tends to 0 minus sin x by x equal to, its value is 1. Sin x by x equal to 1. X tends to 0 minus, this value will be 1. And the right hand limit is at x equal to 0. It will be limit x tends to 0 plus fx. Limit x tends to 0 plus. When x tends to 0 plus means x is more than 0. When x is more than 0, fx equal to x plus 1. So if we put x equal to 0, its value will be again 1. So you can see left hand limit at x equal to 0 is 1, right hand limit at x equal to 0 is also 1. And what is the value of f of 0? When x equal to 0, equal to sign is here, f of 0 will be 0 plus 1, which is again 1. Okay. Hence we can conclude fx is continuous at x equal to 0, because left hand limit, right hand limit and functional value are equal. So fx, you can see what will be you can see here, fx is continuous for x more than 0, comma x less than 0, and it is also continuous at x equal to 0. So fx is everywhere continuous. This will be our conclusion. So f(x) is everywhere continuous. Our next question is, determine if f defined by f(x) equal to x square into sin 1 by x if x is not equal to 0, and 0 if x equal to 0 is a continuous function. We have to check whether this function is continuous everywhere or not. Now just you can see, when x is not equal to 0, I am writing here, when x is not equal to 0, f(x) is product of two functions. When x is not equal to 0, f(x) is product of two functions, x square, which is polynomial function, sine of 1 by x, which is sine function. You can see x is not equal to 0, therefore 1 by x will be defined as x is not equal to 0, 1 by x will exist. Sine of any number, sine of anything where 1 by x is defined will lie in between -1 and +1, so it will exist. So when x is not equal to 0, f(x) is product of two continuous function, polynomial function and sine function, and therefore f(x) will be continuous for x not equal to 0. So I will write in this way. You can elaborate. You can write f(x) here, x square is a polynomial function, sine 1 by x is sine function, and therefore product of two continuous function is continuous. Here f(x) being product of two continuous functions, is continuous. Here f(x) is product of two continuous function is continuous. And when it will be continuous? When x is not equal to 0. When x is not equal to 0. So what can we conclude about this function? This function is continuous at all non-zero points. And what about continuity at junction at 0? Let us check. Now at x equal to 0, you can see the form of the function, equal to, not equal to. This is not in split form. So we will find limiting value at x equal to 0. Limit x tends to 0, f(x). X tends to 0 means x is very near to 0, but x is not equal to 0. You can see when x is not equal to 0, value of f(x) is this. So we will replace f(x) by x square into sine 1 by x. Now if we put x equal to 0, x tends to 0 means x is almost 0 but not equal to 0. Okay. Now if we replace x by 0, this will become 0. And sine of something, value of sine always lies between -1 and +1. So we'll write in this way: a finite number lying between -1 and +1. Sine of something where x is almost equal to 0, this will give us a number lying between, because we know the range of sine, we know the value of sine. Value of sine function always lies between -1 and +1. So value of this will also lie between. So it is ultimately a finite number, and 0 into a finite number is equal to 0. So this is the limiting value. And what is the value of f of 0? You can see f of 0 is equal to 0. So I will write here f of 0 is also equal to 0. Ultimately you can see limiting value and functional value both are equal, implies f(x) is continuous at x equal to 0, and ultimately it is continuous everywhere, and therefore continuous everywhere. These are important questions and also frequently asked questions. Okay. Our next question is, find all points of discontinuity of f(x) equal to modulus of x minus modulus of x plus 1. Now we can solve this in two different ways. Okay, we know if we consider if we consider first function this as px and second function modulus of x plus 1 as qx, and we know a modulus function is continuous everywhere, px comma qx being modulus function, because this is modulus, this is in modulus form, this is also in modulus form, modulus of something, modulus of x plus 1. So px comma qx being modulus function is continuous everywhere, is continuous everywhere, and difference of two continuous function and difference of two continuous functions is everywhere continuous, and therefore continuous function minus continuous function, and therefore fx equal to modulus of x minus modulus of x plus 1 is everywhere continuous. This is the first method. For 1 mark you can choose this way, this method. Okay, just to write, simply write these two are continuous function, difference of two continuous function is a continuous function, and therefore it is continuous. Next I'll show the second method, fx equal to modulus of x minus modulus of x plus 1. Before doing this question, what I will do, I will write the definition. Modulus of x equal to x when x is greater than equal to 0, and minus of x when x is less than 0. Modulus of x plus 1 equal to x plus 1 when x plus 1 is greater than equal to 0, that is when x is greater than equal to minus 1, and minus of x plus 1 when x is less than minus 1. You know the definition, I am not explaining it. So this is the definition of modulus of x plus 1. Now you can see modulus of x defined for x more than 0 and x less than 0, and this is defined for x more than minus 1, less than minus 1. I will mark these two numbers 0 and minus 1 in the number line in this way. Minus 1 is smaller than 0, so first minus 1 then 0, minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, now these 2 points divide the real line into 3 parts. First part, you can see I am writing here, first part, x is less than minus 1. Next part, x lies between minus 1 and 0, and first part x is less than minus 1, next part x lies between minus 1 and 0, and next part x is more than 0. Okay, you see when x is less than minus 1, now you see the given function fx equal to this, fx equal to this. When x is less than minus 1, x is less than minus 1, where x is here, x is less than minus 1, modulus of x plus 1 will be minus of x plus 1. So this will become minus and minus will become plus x plus 1. And when x is less than minus 1, clearly at this position x is also less than 0, and this will become minus of x. You can see this will become minus of x, because here x is less than 0. When x is less than 0, modulus of x equal to minus of x. And when x lies between, when x is less than minus 1, modulus of x plus 1 will be minus of x plus 1. We will write in this way, minus minus plus of x plus 1. Okay, when x lies between minus 1 and 0, at this position minus 1 and 0, here x is more than minus 1. When x is here, x is more than minus 1 and less than 0. Okay, when x is less than 0, when x is less than 0, modulus of x is minus of x. Value of this will be minus of x, and here x is more than minus 1. in between minus 1 and 0, x is more than minus 1. So modulus of x plus 1 will be x plus 1. So this will be x plus 1. This will be x plus 1. And when x is here, x is greater than 0. When x is greater than 0, modulus of x will be x. And at this position, clearly x is also greater than minus 1. And when x is greater than minus 1, modulus of x plus 1 will be, you can see modulus of x plus 1 will be modulus of x plus 1 will be x plus 1. This will be x plus 1. Don't confuse, very simple. First condition, x is less than minus 1. When x, first part, when x less than minus 1, x is here, modulus of x will be minus of x. This will be minus of x. And this will be, x is less than minus 1. So this will be minus of x plus 1. So minus plus of x plus 1. So minus x plus of x plus 1. When x lies between minus 1 and 0, modulus of x will be minus of x. But modulus of x plus 1 will be x plus of x plus 1. So it will be minus x plus 1. Similarly, you write the third one also. So ultimately you can see our given function reduces to this 1 when x is less than minus 1. Minus 2x minus 1 when x lies between minus 1 and 0. 2x plus 1 when x is greater than 0. Now, here f(x) being constant function is continuous for x less than minus 1, and being polynomial function is continuous for x lying between minus 1 and 0 and x greater than 0. For x greater than 0 also it is polynomial function. So f(x) is continuous for x less than minus 1, x lying between minus 1 and 0, and for x greater than 0. Okay, I'm writing this function once again. Now you can see this function f(x) equal to this function is continuous for x less than minus 1, as f(x) is a constant function. f(x) being polynomial function is continuous for x lying between minus 1 and 0, and for x greater than 0. So I have written here f(x) being constant function is continuous for x less than minus 1, and for being polynomial function is continuous for x between minus 1 and 0, and for x less than 0. Now we will test the continuity at the junctions at x equal to minus 1 and at x equal to 0. Okay. Now at x equal to minus 1, left hand limit equal to limit x tends to minus 1 minus f(x). X tends to minus 1 means x is less than minus 1. When x is less than minus 1, f(x) equal to 1 and is equal to 1. Now the right hand limit equal to limit x tends to minus 1 plus f(x). X tends to minus 1 plus means x is greater than minus 1. You can see when x is greater than minus 1, f(x) equal to this minus 2x minus 1. So it will be limit x tends to minus 1 plus, it will be minus 2x minus 1. If you put x equal to minus 1, its value will be 1. And also you can see f of minus 1 equal to sign is here, f of minus 1 will be also equal to 1. So ultimately what we get, f(x) is continuous at x equal to minus 1. Similarly we can show the other junction is 0 at x equal to 0, left hand limit at x equal to 0, left hand limit equal to right hand limit equal to f of 0 is equal to 1. Okay, so ultimately f(x) is everywhere continuous in this range when x less than minus 1, more than 0, etc., and also at the junctions f(x) is continuous. So f(x) is everywhere continuous. So if 4 mark is given, you try this method. If 1 mark is given, try the shorter method. everywhere continuous. Okay, here I want to make a correction. Just see carefully. When x is greater than 0, when x is here, x is more than 0, clearly x will be greater than minus 1. When x is more than 0, x is here, x will be more than minus 1. And when x is more than minus 1, modulus of x plus 1 will be x plus 1. This will be x plus 1. So I have written plus x plus 1. This will be actually modulus of x plus 1 will be x plus 1 only. Ultimately this will become x minus 1. Ultimately value of this will be minus 1, not this, minus 1. Okay, so here this will be minus 1, and we have to write in this way, fx being, this now become constant function, fx being constant function is continuous for x less than minus 1, it is constant function, and for x, here we have to add, for x more than 0. And fx being polynomial function is continuous in between minus 1 and 0. You have to remove this part, sorry for this. Okay, now this is okay, but here the right hand limit and left hand limit and f of 0 will be equal to not 1, it will be minus of 1, it will be minus of 1. Okay, then fx is everywhere continuous. So that was continuity and continuous function. The next class I will start differentiability. That's all for today. Thank you.